It feels good to have you join us on Breakfast Central this Thursday morning. We are super ready to go as we bring to you the top stories focusing on one continent and one continent only, which is Africa. Don't forget to follow us on all socials. You can drop in and also drop your comments at the same time. You can be part of the show. It's simple. Just send a tweet and also follow us on all socials, like I rightly said, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and the likes. It's time for us to bring to you the front pages of the papers and what are they saying. Daily Trust will be our first stop this morning.
That's right. And the Daily Trust in Nigeria, it says businesses struggle for survival as diesel price soars. Well, that's a big story. We know what the situation is in Nigeria. I know the price is beginning to come down a little bit. I bought 750 naira, but as of yesterday, I was able to find a place where they gave it to me for 650 naira. Now, cost of production unbearable is coming from manufacturers. Supply will adjust in a few weeks. All marketers are coming out to say. Job losses loom. Now, I also heard of some financial institutions who were closing earlier than usual, and telling their staff that you need to go home, please. Overhead cost is killing us. But there's more details from the Daily Trust this morning. Now you can see this picture here. People packing rubbles after demolition in Otako village by the Development Control Department of Abuja Municipal Council. That's AMAC. This happened just yesterday. We hope that the people who have businesses, shops, homes here have been relocated to a better place. More details from the Daily Trust in Nigeria. Now 2023, that's next year. PDP begins sale of forms as meeting on zoning deadlocked. That's what they're saying. How Lagos bishop drugged defiled daughter. What? That's on page 16, and on page 5, Electoral Act. We may go to court. This is coming from the federal government. Now you can see this other story here just underneath that picture. APC cancels next meeting as Buhari backs Buni committee. Yobe governor meets president in London. Yes, we understand that the president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, is currently in London as we speak. Now, the last one on page 26, that's on the upper right-hand side. Fuel crisis. Buhari apologizes to Nigerians. Others clamp down on saboteurs. More details from the Daily Trust.
And away from the Daily Trust in Nigeria, let's go to the Standard in Kenya. Yes, that's the paper we're looking at, the Standard. And the first one, right there, the front page, the big story, Azimio fresh fight to force DP to resign. Angered by Ruto's scarfing and persistent attack on the government, Uhuru and Raila allies have renewed their calls for him to quit, questioning his continued stay in the same government he unceasingly criticizes. So it's like criticizing a government so bad, but you still stick to that government, or you could say you still stick to that political party. Well, it's quite a story. You might want to go in there and read all about it. Don't forget that the elections are hotting up and the countdown is already on. We've been bringing to you blow by blow and beat by beat account of that election. And let's move away from that one now. Let's tell you this time, Magoha phones are now exam menace. That's another story. We talked about phones being allowed in Uganda, and this time we're talking about Kenya too. Education CS says the government is considering a local ban on the use of mobile phones in schools during national examinations. So from Uganda, now in Kenya, they're saying they're considering a local ban, while Uganda is considering the usage of mobile phones in classes. Well, Keruchi reopens after deal with KRA. You want to check that story and know what it's all about? Well, do not waste any time. Go ahead and pick the Standards. Don't forget the front page and more focuses on the upcoming election.
From that paper, let's head to the next stop, which is Southern Africa. We're looking at the SOWETAN paper this morning. Now you can see the SOWETAN chiefs to hear fate next week. COVID-related no-shows may be costly. That's on page 23. Now you can see this major picture here. You can see, I think I see tomatoes, I see onions, I see green peppers, I see the local potatoes as well. Oh my. We're talking about the market, the busy market near Johannesburg Park Station, as street vendors trade during rush hour while patrons move about to different destinations. You can see that there. It's saying it's a free-for-all in Joburg. Trade in Josie hotly contested with pro and anti-immigrant protests with marches, and the plan for the march is on the 21st of March. Now they're also scared of xenophobic violence attack. That's what they're saying here, but that's on pages 2 and 3 from the SOWETAN this morning. On page 16, war in Ukraine, peace talks becoming realistic. Yeah, we really hope the war comes to an end pretty soon. Also on page 6, power move for Lerato. You can go in for more details. On page 21, it says mental health key to marital bliss. More from the SOWETAN in South Africa.
Let's now move on to Namibia. Let's go to the paper, The Namibian. As you can see right there, the front page of the Namibian, it says the pain of period poverty. The pain of period poverty. There's this new thing called period poverty.
Really?
And it's being really talked about in Namibia this time. Now, these are the numbers. Take note. Most girls prefer and use disposable pads, but 1 in 4 girls cannot afford them. Only 1 in 10 girls use reusable pads. 4.2% of girls miss school during their periods. Only half of schools have toilet paper, and soap is in short supply. So this has been a complete, you'd say, review of what it's like, especially with girls who are struggling to keep up. Take a look at that statistics there. Most girls prefer the use of disposable pads, but 1 in 4 girls cannot afford them. Let's take a look at traditional beliefs as well. You find it on the front page there. They said Kavango regions, menstruating girls should drink tree roots for pain and place them inside to manage blood flow.
Wow.
And menstruating girls should not have sex because they will get pregnant.
Really?
Oh yeah. That's the belief of the Kavango region. Well, that's quite different from the Zambezi region. Zambezi believes that it's not allowed to share food with boys because they will develop a persistent cough that will never end.
Whoa.
You know what? Just go ahead and pick up the Namibian. Take your time to go through this pain of period poverty. Especially if you're a lady there, you might find out that there's some beliefs that are still being held on to and how it affects you. Talk to yourself, the girls right there.